Hi guys, and welcome to Carflix. Today we're going to be doing some routine maintenance on the Mazda MX5, which is behind me now. I've been dying to get stuck into this car because it is due a service as soon as I bought it. So let's get cracking and get this service done. Right, so the car's up in the air. It's had long enough to run now, so I'm just gonna turn the ignition off. And now we can safely get under the car to do the oil change. This is the stuff that I'm going to be using. So what we're going to be changing is all 4 spark plugs for iridium, air filter, which is also Bosch, and oil filter, which is also Bosch, and Valvoline, and that is 530. We're also going to be changing out the Bosch windscreen wipers as well, the Aero Twin, as the other ones are knackered. So let's get cracking with servicing the car. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pop the bonnet. This is for the bonnet, just give it a pull. Around here, it's a little latch, you can see there. And unfortunately with these, there's no gas struts. I may fit some of those at a later date. I'm going to now fit that up here, like that. And there we are, bonnet is up. Probably now we're going to undo the oil cap. I can feel the heat coming out of there. Also undo this to allow a bit more air to come out of there. And then we're going to get under the car now, and then we're going to start dropping the oil. You join me under the car, and here is the sump plug. Thoughtfully, the Mazda engineers have put it in a place where you can literally just crack it off. It's just a 17, so I'm going to crack that off now, let the oil drain, and then we can continue with the other work at the top end of the engine. Look how dirty and black that is. That was well due for a change. So while this is dripping, we're now going to try and locate where the oil filter is. To get to the oil filter, remove the 5 bolts holding on the guard, then unscrew the oil filter. After you've done that, refit the oil filter in reverse, remembering to put a rag there to stop any excess oil coming out, and then just refit the guard. Right guys, so I've dropped the car down this way now so I can start working on the spark plugs. As you can see, it's still dripping out a fair bit, especially since I dropped the car down and knocked some more out of the front part of the sump now. So I'm now going to do the spark plugs, and then after that it will be onto air filter. Remove the engine cover, then undo the 4 10mm bolts holding the coil packs in, remove the coil packs, and then undo the spark plugs, removing them either with a magnet or with a long nose plier. These plugs I've just pulled out, I'm pretty shocked actually. Look at the rust on that, and it's not even iridium. I've never heard of these. They're called Formoco. Who the hell are Formoco? They're rusted, they were really tight in there, and they're not even iridium. These are Bosch iridiums that I'm putting in now. And these are going to be 10 times better than. That's probably why I've been getting this pinking sensation. But anyway, let's crack on with fitting these new Bosch iridiums. So unfortunately I didn't have any spark plug sockets, so what I did was I dropped them in individually and then used an extension and a socket just to hand tighten into the threads. Once I was happy that the spark plugs were in the threads properly, I then continued to torque them down to spec. Once I was happy with everything was torqued down properly, I then refitted all the coil packs. Then back on with the engine cover. Next, it was out with the old filter, just held in by 2 clips, and replaced with a brand new Bosch filter. Right guys, got it there in the end. Just have to line the lugs up at the bottom, and to tell if you've done it right, just look at the back, and if it's flush with the top, you know you've done it. Right, last thing, let's have a look at this filter. What did they put in? Blueprint, not the best. So let's just have a new Bosch one in, Bosch everything. So now we're going to pour fresh oil in this thing. Here we go. Perfect, 4.3 litres. Now these NC1 dipsticks are really hard to read, and the best way I found was to get a torch, shine it on the light, and then just look for the reflection in the oil. Next thing, since it's raining, I think it's a good idea to change these old rusty windscreen wipers. If you look at these, look how bad they are. I don't know if you can see that. These are all rusted, and these are the old style ones as well. I'm going to be upgrading these to the latest flat style ones, which kind of bend to the shape of the windscreen. The reason why this one is so rusty is because I don't think this has been changed for a very, very long time. This one's a Bosch and it looks fine, and this one doesn't have a name on it. And the other thing, to even take this off, it seems like the clip's broken and it seems to be stuck, and I think that's the reason why they've changed that side but not this side maybe. But I'm trying to get it off and it seems the clip is broken inside, which it is, so I'm going to have to work this out, maybe hammer this off because it is completely rusted. So you might have to just bear with me while I try and get this done. This is the new ones that we're using. It is the Bosch Aero Twin, and it's called an AR18U. And these are the ones I was telling you about. They're kind of like retrofit. They kind of get rid of this old style and they put it to the more modern style. If you look at this, it's all brand new and modern, and it bends to the shape of the windscreen, where the other ones are a little bit more open and tend to break down a bit more. So these are super simple. Luckily on the MX5, they're both the same size. They're both 450mm, which it says here. So you can't get them mixed up, which is a really good thing. So I'm now going to work this out and then we're going to fit it on. Before we do this, what you normally want to do is, if you've got them up like this because it's spring loaded, ideally you want something soft on the windscreen here, like a towel, but I haven't got that here today, so I'm just using the old plastic container this came in. But what you want to do is you want to make sure it's this way around before you do it. It's a little bit tricky because this one's a little bit rusty, so it's going to be harder to get on. But what you want to do is put it over like that, and then this is the tricky bit because it's trying not to slide in, but if you just bear with it, there we go, it's going, there we go, and it clicks, and then you just pop that on and watch this. Look at that. Now that makes the car so much more modern as well. and it fits perfectly. We'll now go and do the other side. So this one should be a lot easier because it's not rusted on like the old one was. So again, lift, tilt, slide out, easy as that. I'm going to put it in the old container. I'm going to leave this on the windscreen here to stop this shattering the windscreen potentially. And now open the trap door like so. And then what we're going to do, slide it through there. And this is the tricky bit. Oh, here it comes. There you go. Click. Click. Done. And look at the difference. It's so much more modern than it was before. And what a great upgrade on a rainy day. Right guys, so the next job I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be doing the diff oil. This is the best stuff for the MX5 and it should reduce some of the whining that you get with the roof up. And then this will be the gearbox oil as well. This is meant to make it a lot smoother as well. So we're going to get under the car and get this swapped out now. The first thing you've got to do to get to the actual gearbox, you got to take this cover off. It's a metal cover. Looks like it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's get them off. And these two here. There we go. Okay, so this is not what I was expecting. So this is the 5-speed, and easily I found the drain plug, but I was expecting to see one of these further up. But as you can see, the fill plug seems to be like a square bolt, which I wasn't expecting, but I suppose all I can do is crack that off first, which is very important, and then start draining the old oil out. So I cracked that off. It's just a 14mm spanner to crack it off. I'm now going to undo this. I suspect this is a 24, but I'll start undoing it now. Right, so I've cracked it off. It was a 24. I'm now going to undo this and see what this old gearbox oil is like. This is the magnetic sump plug. I'm just going to see what is on there. There's tiny fragments in there. It's not that glittery. So I think this is probably about right for the age. It's not too bad. I'm glad I'm doing it now. But that's definitely never been changed. Overall, not too concerned. I've got the old crush washer off. This is just made out of aluminium or metal. I'm going to put a copper one on. They seal better. So I'm going to put that on now. Like so. I'm just going to inspect the oil. Wow, look how bad that is. That really did need changing. So let's go ahead and put the new redline stuff in. I've just poured the redline into the pump. This is the pump I'm using. It's just a hand pump with a handy little tool on the end. Just a hook into the top of the gearbox, which will be really easy. So I'm now going to get under there, fit the new plug, and then undo the top bolt, and then yeah, start filling this in. Now I'm going to torque this up to 28 Newton meters. So finally got this fill plug out. It was a bit awkward because it's hard to get a spanner in here, but that's now out. And now, if my calculations are right, we're going to need 2 litres of this stuff. So what we're going to do is hook this in into there, and then we're going to start pumping. We'll see it go into there, and just keep pumping until it starts seeping out. That's 1 bottle in. I'm now moving on to the second bottle. It's just started trickling out, so I'm now going to put the bolt back in. a full 2 litres in there, or just under, because obviously you can never get the last bit out of that pump. Now hand tighten this and then tighten it up. Now it's just a case of refitting the gearbox shield. Right guys, so on the diff now, both 24s, I've just cracked off the top one, the refill hole, and now I'm going to undo this and slide under my drain can, and we'll see how bad the diff is, because this is quite noisy with the roof up. Right, so here goes. No idea what angle this is going to pour out on, but I guess it's probably going to go into the exhaust. Oh no, straight down. Ooh. That don't look good, does it? Ooh. Let that drain out, and we'll also inspect the plug while that's draining. This is the drain plug. Let's have a look. See what it's like. Oh, there's a crush plug, another metal one. It's a bit sludgy. I wouldn't say it was glittery, but yeah, there's no massive chunks or anything, so I'm quite happy with that. But yeah, I'll get a new crush washer on it, and yeah, we'll fit this once it's drained. So it's pretty much done, so I'm just going to put the drain plug back in. There we go, that's in. And yeah, as you can see, definitely needed changing, completely black. I'm probably going to tighten this up now, actually, thinking about it. Universal joint for this. That's 39 Newton meters. Next we're going to start filling it up. So now it's going to be a case of putting it into the drain. I'm going to start pumping it in. And then until it starts coming out. Right, so it's just started dripping out, so we know we've got enough. So it's just under a litre that goes in there. So now I'm going to take this out like that. See how it's slowly dripping out. I'm going to put the top fill plug back in, which is really awkward, but we're going to do it anyway. Doing this pretty much blind. There. Just to remind you, if you're really enjoying this, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out and I'd really appreciate it. And that's it, done. Now we've already done quite a lot to this car to get it all maintained properly. Now the main problem I've got is, I only realised this because I watched another video, was the fact that this car just wasn't getting hot and it was using a lot of fuel. Let me show you how I found that out. Now the MX5 dashboard is really good, but the problem is it's kind of got the coolant kind of tucked away down here, and I didn't really realise until I noticed watching another YouTube video that it should be at half, and mine's always been on the quarter. So that's how I knew straight away that this needed a new thermostat. If your car's using a load of fuel and it's never getting hot, then this is the job you need to do. Now the car's already up in the air. I've already got it as high as I possibly can because this is going to make it a lot easier on your back. Because when you drain this, which we're going to do now, if you're stood upright, it's going to be a lot easier to remove that thermostat in that corner than it is if you're kind of crunched over. So let's drain the coolant out. So once you're under the car, what you're looking for is this. What you're going to do is get yourself a posi drive and just turn it left. This is actually really loose, which is cool. And then what you're going to do, put a tub or something in just underneath it, and then we're going to release this and let it drain out. The other thing you want to do, just to make it a lot easier as well, make sure the car's completely cold, take the cap off, put that to one side. Here it comes. And that's really good news. That's actually the green stuff, which is the proper F22 coolant you should be using. So let's let that drain all out. So while that's draining, let me show you what I've got to do this job. So this is the thermostat. and this is the part number that you're going to need. I've also bought some tools to make my life a little bit easier as well. So I've got some bent nose, long nose pliers for getting to the really hard hoses on the bottom of the thermostat. I bought some proper hose clamps so I'm not struggling. That'll help a lot. And I've also bought this kit, which is a no spill kit, which will allow me to get all the bubbles out of the system a lot easier. And instead of using the F22 Mazda stuff, I've gone for Prestone. And the reason I've gone for Prestone is because 10-year guarantee, OEM approved, and used and trusted by all vehicle manufacturers. So you can't go wrong with this stuff. Plus, if there is a bit of coolant we can't get out, it's not going to matter because this stuff doesn't get contaminated by other coolants. So it's absolutely perfect for what we're going to do today. Right, so that looks almost finished. There should be 5 litres in there, which is about right. I'm happy that it's the original green stuff. But obviously it's probably been in there quite a long time, so we're now going to get into removing that thermostat. So to get to the thermostat, you've got to take off the air box and the air pipe as well, and then you've got to take off the throttle body. Alright guys, so there's going to be a bit of cleaning going on now. The first thing I'm going to clean, if you can see that, if you look in there, the MAF centre is really dirty, so I'm going to clean that out. And also I'm going to clean this out because this is covered in carbon, if you can see that. It's horrific. Giving that a really good clean out now. See how much better that is. You can actually see through it now, where you couldn't do before. So this is awesome, and I've just given this a blast. I haven't touched it with anything, and just a blast, because if you break that wire in there, you're in big trouble. Now, I didn't take a video of me removing and refitting the thermostat because my video just didn't record, but there's loads of videos if you want to do it yourself. Right, so the plug's back in. I'm now going to start filling it. So, to make my life easier, I'm using one of these awesome no spill kits. You get a load of connectors, you get some instructions, and basically you marry up the connector to match the original one. And once that seals, you then fit this as high as you can, because the pressure of it forces the coolant down. And when you want to lift it up, you just put this in, and you can lift it up with no spills. Absolutely brilliant. It says fill it up to about here, and then we'll see how we get on. So it's really important when you're filling this up to do it extremely slowly, so it gives the air the chance to come out as you're filling it. Now I'm lowering the car here to try and get a little bit more air out of the system. And that's what happens sometimes, guys. Things don't always go to plan. Let's fill this back up. It doesn't taste very nice, I'll tell you that. And let's start the car up now. Now I've dried off, put that in neutral. We have to put the heater all the way onto full. We're going to put that to about half, I'd say. And now we're going to start her up. Wait for all that air to come out of the system. As you can see, it's all bubbling up, which is great. So we're going to leave that for 10 minutes and take it from there. Right, one other thing you can do, just be very careful where I go for this, is the top hose is just there. You can give that a little squeeze to try and get any more bubbles out of that. Can you see those bubbles? So I'm squeezing. It's just getting some more bubbles out of there, which is what you want. So it's actually been about 17 minutes now. I started this at 3 o'clock, but I'm still seeing air coming out, which means that the thermostat is fully open now. So I'm still going to leave it because there's still air trying to get out of here. So basically just keep going, you see there? Just keep going until all that air has stopped bubbling completely. So it's been about 25 minutes, there's still the odd bubble coming through, but I think we're pretty much done now. I've checked for leaks, there's no leaks at all from anywhere, so I'm happy with that. And it's bang in the middle now almost, you can see that, and it's never been there before. So I'm now going to turn it off and I'm going to show you how you remove this thing. Right, so she's turned off, you can see all the steam coming out, and actually some bubbles coming out of this now, which is good. So now it is very hot, so you've just got to be careful. So what you do is you put this in here, and apparently you release it from here. Aha, there you go. So that's obviously blocking that, stopping that coming out. So put this to one side. I'm now going to have to get rid of some of this excess because that's way over full. So maybe I get a turkey baster. I'm going to remove some of this stuff. Last one now, that should be it. Happy with that. Right, so that's done. That's at the level now. So I think best thing to do now is take it for a test drive, and if it needs a top up, I'll just top it up when it's cool. Right, so I've just got back from a test drive, and as you can see, it is completely at halfway. I'm now going to let the engine cool down, and then we'll probably top it up. Right guys, so the last thing I did was top it up a little bit, and it's all fine. It's working great. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one.